Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer, and today we're going to be talking about the past week or so in Blizzard news, and what a huge week it has been. We have updates in the Blizzard vs. Honor Buddy lawsuit. It was April Fool's Day, huge patch in WoW, huge patch in Diablo, full overhaul of Heroes of the Storm, Un'Goro Crater is right around the corner in Hearthstone, and so much more. I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, remember to rate it thumbs up. So first things first, I did totally intend on making a video recapping all of Blizzard's April Fool's Day jokes for 2017, and then my computer wrecked the footage. It was corrupted and it was unrepairable, and at April 4th it feels a little bit late to be talking about that in depth, so instead I will have a link in the info below to all of the Blizzard April Fool's Day pranks for 2017 from around the globe. If you are interested, I'll also have a link to my video on 10 times Blizzard was not kidding on April Fool's Day. These were April Fool's Day jokes that ended up coming true, so I hope that you enjoy those things, and we are going to move on and talk about the news. Just a couple weeks ago, we covered a story about Blizzard Entertainment suing the German company Bossland here in the US for over 42,000 counts of copyright infringement involving their software that exploited Blizzard games like Honor Buddy, Demon Buddy, Storm Buddy, Hearth Buddy, and Watch Over Tyrant. Now, since we last spoke, a default judgment has been made granting Blizzard $8.6 million in damages and legal fees. In addition to that, Bossland is no longer permitted to legally market, promote, or sell any of their software that exploits Blizzard games here in the US. Whether or not the judgment of this lawsuit is going to make a difference in terms of whether these games continue to have programs that bot and hack and exploit them, I don't really know. I would like to think so, but I mean, I don't even know how they could stop Bossland from distributing their software with things like, VPNs and the dark web, and I just feel like the internet is a shady place with shady characters, and it wouldn't be hard to distribute things even if you're not supposed to. But then again, I also would like to think maybe this sends a message to other companies like, don't mess with Blizzard or they'll sue you for millions and millions of dollars. I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts though, because as someone who plays these games, I'm obviously happy and I consider this a victory because no one likes botters or hackers or people who cheat, so I'm glad that it's going to at least be a little bit more difficult for them to do so, but I'm not sure it's going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things. I hope it does. But again, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a step in the right direction? Do you think this is kind of all fluff and it's not going to make a difference? Do you think this is going to send a message? I would love to hear it. Let me know in the comment section below. In the world of Hearthstone, Journey to Un'Goro is right around the corner. Journey to Un'Goro! And with it, we're going to be getting legendary quest cards as well as the new adapt mechanic. This will also mark the beginning of the Year of the Mammoth, which will change standard format. It's going to be rotating out some older expansions cards that will now only be available in Wild, and there'll even be some classic cards that are being removed from standard format like Sylvanas Windrunner and the Azure Drake. The Journey to Un'Goro in Hearthstone launches on Thursday, April 6th, and if you would like more information, I will have a link in the info below. Not a whole lot of Diablo news this week to talk about, so I just wanted to remind everybody that if you haven't tried it out yet, Season 10 began on Friday for both console and PC users. I am personally playing my monk and I'm about 300 Paragon levels, watch out, and I'm really enjoying the 2.5 set loadouts as well as Primal Ancient Legendaries, and the new crafting materials tab is 10 out of 10 would recommend, so that's all I have to say in the world of Diablo. If you're doing Diablo things, have fun. In the world of StarCraft, Brood War is now available to anyone who wants it for free, and what's really nice about this is that before releasing it, Blizzard did a whole patch that updated a bunch of bugs and made it more friendly with modern operating systems. For now, PvP is not available unless you're on the PTR, but that will all change once StarCraft Remastered comes out, which is set to hit this summer. Now, as a reminder, while Brood War is free, you will have to pay for StarCraft Remastered. Moving on to Overwatch, this has already been a very exciting week for fans as Blizzard has leaked a new Overwatch video teaser. From this, we can pick up some hints like that mandatory robot registration with the QR code. There's some sort of Omnic building. I don't know if it's a sanctuary or maybe a prison. There also seems to be a possible Tracer skin involved, as well as security footage of a subway system. It seems like we're going to be getting more information on April 11th, and the speculations are already like going crazy. As for me, I think it definitely has something to do with Widowmaker's Alive animation, which features Tracer on King's Row. We know that Widowmaker is getting a new skin in the spring, and I kind of think this whole teaser is leading up to some sort of event, because we're kind of due for an event, and we also know there's not going to be anything Easter related. So I'm wondering if maybe there's some sort of like Omnic Freedom holiday in Overwatch, like in the Overwatch universe, and that might be what we're celebrating. I don't know, we'll see. But the reason I think this is all so connected is because right now on the PTR, King's Row is actually getting a visual upgrade. Now, according to Overwatch developers, this upgrade is just to bring King's Row up to some of the more modern maps, as King's Row was one of the oldest maps made in Overwatch. But I can't help but think that it's connected to this whole teaser, which also happens to be on King's Row, and it involves Tracer. I don't know. I think there's some things going on, is all I'm saying. There is so much going on in Heroes of the Storm right now. I'm going to try my best to kind of condense this into a short segment of the video, but I make no promises because Heroes 2.0 looks amazing. I was just talking in my last Blizzard news video about how I thought the payment system of Heroes of the Storm needed to be changed, and then lo and behold, here we are, the payment system is being changed. Before we get into that, I do want to quickly talk about the new hero announced, and her name is Cassia. She is from the Diablo universe, and she's an Amazonian war matron who mitigates damage by moving around a lot, and she's kind of like an aggressive ranged assassin. She has abilities like blind that make her enemies take more damage, and all around she looks really, really friggin' awesome. On top of that, there's also rumors that Genji is going to be added to the roster of Heroes of the Storm, which would be amazing, and along with him would come an Overwatch map. Now, this is just speculation, but we do know that in addition to Cassia, there are 2 more heroes coming before Heroes 2.0 and a new map, so this could all be very possible. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about the changes made to Heroes of the Storm with 2.0. It looks amazing. They're basically revamping the entire payment and reward structure, and it reminds me a lot of if Hearthstone and Overwatch like went out on a date and they had a couple drinks and they were really getting along very well, and then Hearthstone walked Overwatch back to her apartment and Overwatch was like, "Oh, you want to come in?" And then Hearthstone's like, "Yeah, baby, I want to come in." And then they go in and then adult things happen, and then 9 months later, Overwatch has a baby, and that baby is Heroes of the Storm 2.0. That sounds like a joke, but seriously, the new payment and loot structure in Heroes of the Storm is exactly like that. There's still going to be gold like there is in game now, and you'll earn that by playing the game, by doing your quests, by leveling up, and then you'll spend it on hero unlocks as well as the ability to reroll loot chests, because loot chests are coming to Heroes of the Storm. Now, in addition to gold, there'll also be gems. Gems are the real money currency that will be in Heroes 2.0. Basically, you put money on your Heroes of the Storm account, it's converted into gems, and you can use those gems to buy loot boxes, stim packs, or unlock heroes. The final currency in Heroes 2.0 are shards, and shards are super similar to the way that duplicates work in Hearthstone or Overwatch. Anytime that you get a duplicate item from a loot chest, you'll instead be given an amount of shards, and then later on you can take those shards to buy anything that you want from the shop. It seems all very simple because it is, and it's awesome. If I seem a little intense about all of this, it's because I'm very, very excited. Loot boxes are also bringing to the game a whole bunch of new cosmetic items that seem completely amazing. In addition to skins, there are now going to be banners. Banners will drop onto the battlefield when you complete an objective, capture a mercenary, or last hit a fort or keep. There's also sprays, which allow you to spray onto the ground just like you can in Overwatch. There are announcer packs where you can choose who is announcing things on the map, like your countdown and kill streaks and more. There's also voice lines that work the same way they do in Overwatch. You'll use an action wheel to communicate with your team or taunt the enemy. And my personal favorite, emojis. Each hero will get their own emoji pack as well as some general ones for the game. You can use these in a game chat or in chats in Heroes of the Storm outside of a game. I really, really hope that these emojis transfer over to other games because I would love to use them in my just like Battle.net chat. I'm sorry, Blizzard app chat. I'm sorry, my bad. Anyways, the last big cosmetic change is that master skins aren't really a thing anymore. Master skins have all been given a regular name and are available in the shop to unlock in loot boxes or for shards. And if you would like to use like a master thing to show off that you are a master person, you can now use these new things called master taunts. They display a little icon over your head and you can use them when you're on the battlegrounds to kind of like taunt your enemy after you just wrecked them. And a lot of oh my god. Getting back on track, a lot of people are very upset about this master skin situation because it took a lot of effort and coins to unlock master skins, and now they're just going to be like every other skin, and I can understand why people feel kind of bad about this. Plus, while master taunts are very cool and they open up the option to use any skin that you want while still showing off that you're awesome at whatever hero you are awesome at, there's no way to show that off outside of game, and I think a lot of people like that time in the lobby and on the load screen to show off like how friggin' cool they are. So I think a good solution to this would be for Blizzard to add some sort of maybe portrait frame or title or something like that so that when they talk in chat or when you see them on the load screen, you'll know that they're a master person. That's my 2 cents. As far as actual gameplay and player progression changes coming with Heroes 2.0, they're revamping that whole system as well. Once Heroes 2.0 comes out, your player level will be the sum of all of your hero levels. And when this system goes live, everything is going to transfer over, so you're not going to lose any progress that you have currently. There will be no level cap, so you can just keep leveling up and keep leveling up, and your portrait frame will change with your level the same way that it does in Overwatch. Leveling requirements have also been smoothed out so that, once you hit that level 10, it'll only take you about 3 to 5 hours per level as opposed to the 10 to 12 hours that it takes currently. And this is awesome because every time you level up, you're going to get a loot chest. In addition to that, every 5 levels, you're going to get a loot chest that guarantees you a rare item. Every 25 levels, you're going to be given a chest that guarantees an epic item. Now, on the heroes front, every time you level a hero 10 levels, you'll get a loot chest that guarantees an item for that hero. It's all very friggin' cool. TLDR, Heroes of the Storm has loot chests now, and I like loot chests. Also, Hearthstone and Overwatch probably did it. Ew. And finally, onto World of Warcraft. As I'm sure you know by now, patch 7.2 has been live for about a week, and there's lots to do. You can go to the Broken Shore and quest there. You can get your artifact knowledge up. You can empower your artifact to unlock the new talents. Since the Mage Tower is up, you can try out your class challenge. I mean, if you want to slam your face repeatedly against your computer monitor for like 6 hours until you cry and then re-roll classes. You can farm armies of Legion Fall Rep, Nether Shards, as well as Legion Fall War supplies. There's also the new Pet Battle Dungeon, Wailing Critters, as well as the real dungeon, Cathedral of Eternal Night. There are new ranks of Prestige in PvP. There's so much to do. And since today is April 4th, that means invasions are now live and Pathfinder is officially obtainable. So you're going to start seeing people flying around the Broken Isles very, very soon. What's nuts is that while 7.2 hasn't even fully rolled out yet, we haven't gotten our class champions, we haven't gotten our new class mounts, Tomb of Sargeras isn't here, developers are already talking about changes taking place in 7.25, and it's sort of like panic-inducing if you're someone like me who panics about everything, but the good news is that 7.25 is kind of just a continuation of 7.2, and it's including a lot of things that were coming with 7.2, like the Tomb of Sargeras, so I guess it's not super surprising that 7.25's PTR is going to be live soon, but it seems so soon, doesn't it? And of course, the hottest topic that everybody is talking about involving World of Warcraft for the past week has been the undocumented mob scaling changes. Now, if you do not know what happened, pretty much back at a Q&A in 2016, Blizzard was asked, will you ever scale mobs above level 110? So basically, when you hit 110 and you get better gear, a mob's going to continue scaling. It was a hard no. They said, no, we'll never do that. That's a terrible idea. We're not doing it. Then when 7.2 went live, that was a thing that was done, and it wasn't in the patch notes, and it was like very harsh. So players who had very, very good gear were essentially being punished for being well geared. They were taking as long or even longer as fresh 110 players to kill just like mobs out in the world. Blizzard responded by reducing the amount of damage those mobs did. They also reduced the scaling quite a bit so that right now it should take a fresh 110 about 12 to 15 seconds to kill a mob, and it should take a well-geared 110 about 3 to 5 seconds to kill a mob. Now the reason, according to Blizzard, that they did decide to make make this scaling change is because with invasions that are coming this week, players will need to go back to content that's kind of irrelevant compared to their gear at this point already. And in testing, players were able to one-shot everything, and it made Legion invasions not very fun. So they decided to have it scale a little bit so that you would have to play the game a little bit to be rewarded, but they went too far with it. So as of right now, I feel like it's at a good balance of place, but I think that a lot of the anger from people is because of the undocumented nature of the change. It's like if you want to make the change, it's going to be a lot easier to digest as somebody in the community if you tell us you're making the change instead of like ninja patching it in there. And maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Do you have opinions on this? I would love to hear them. Do you think scaling is something that should happen, shouldn't happen? Do you think that undocumented changes are okay? Are they not okay? Do you think that where we're at right now with the hot fixes is balanced and fair? Let me know in the comments section below. One more thing about World of Warcraft before I move on. If you have not picked up the Inky Black Potion from the Darkmoon Fair, definitely do so. It makes you kind of experience the world at night with a sky full of stars. Everything's very dark. It works inside of raids. It's very cool. It looks amazing. And if you haven't done it, it's definitely worth the 3 gold to do it. So get on it. And that is it for my video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on anything that we talked about today in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please thumb it up and subscribe to my channel if I haven't already. Goodness, if you haven't already. I'm gonna go because I'm terrible at outros, and here we are once again. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. 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 In the realm of Blizzard April Fool's Day jokes, South Korea 1, rest of the world less than 1. So yeah, that's a thing. I don't really know how that works and how they can stop people, because I feel like there's no way to stop things happening on the internet. It's just a crazy place of darkness and chaos. Overwatch, fuck. Or do you think this is kind of just something? I don't really know what that means in legal mumbo. Fuck. Come on, Danielle. Okay. Do you think it's just kind of like money and it's not going to make a difference? Do you think another company will rise from the ashes of, what is the name of the company? Bossland? Yeah, Bossland. Do you think another company will rise from the ashes of Bossland? Because I'm not even sure Bossland has been burned to the ground. I don't know. That mitigates damages by damages. TLDR, there's loot chests. I like loot chests. And Hearthstone had sex with Overwatch.